Is it just me? Or have we been talking a lot about food at Chelten recently? If you remember all the way back in our January series, we talked about having intentional meals with people to get to know them. Many of you in our church have been hosting and attending meals throughout the month of February, designed to just get to know each other, to share a meal, because as I'm sure most of us know, when you invite somebody over for a meal, they get a bigger picture of what your life looks like and who you really are. What if I told you could tell the gospel story around 4 meals that Jesus has with people? That's exactly what we've been doing with our youth and our students through our winter retreats this month. See, Jesus invites sinners to himself, and you could see that in when he calls Zacchaeus to himself. And where does all the change happen? Around a meal. Jesus encourages his saints, and he does it in the most unlikely way. Around the table, full of Pharisees, and there is one woman there who doesn't belong, and yet she is the one that Jesus uses as an example of faith for all of us. Jesus also identifies with our suffering, and where can you most clearly see that? It's at a meal. It's at a meal that he actually repurposes to show that he is with us. It's a meal that he has with his disciples, and he takes the elements of the meal and he says, this is no longer simply bread, but it's my body that's been broken for you. This is no longer simply wine or grape juice, but it's my blood that has been shed for you. And in that we see that God embraces our suffering. And lastly, Jesus shares a meal not around a table like this, but around a campfire on a beach with a fallen disciple. And there we see the kindness of God, that he restores the failures and the brokenhearted to himself, reminds Peter of his love for him, and calls him to follow him again, with the promise that he's not too far gone. Church, thank you for all of your prayers and support of our students throughout the month of February and our winter retreats. Wanted to give you a snapshot of what we talked about, as well as some pictures of the fun that we've had. Thank you for your continued prayer for our students and the youth of our church. It's a big job. You can't do it alone. Thankful for each one of you. Have a great day.